what we're discussing here today affects student life at UCT.
And I'd also like to extend my thanks for everyone being here and for the presentations that have thus far been delivered.
From the action that we're trying to do, we're trying to claim back our power as queer bodies at this institution by disrupting it, and recognizing that as queer bodies, as trans bodies, the only thing we have is our bodies.
So today HAICU hosted a seminar that focused on sexualities programs here at UCT, but also brought 13 other coordinators from other universities in South Africa who were coordinating their own sexualities program. We had speakers that are steeped in the research around sexuality and gender, around language, sexual diversity, sharing with us their knowledge about programming and ways forward in terms of avenues of new learning for sexual diversity. And in the room today we had stakeholders from government, academic practitioners, management, executive management, communication teams coming to learn more about the importance of being accurate and knowledgeable in the way that we talk about sexual diversity, but also implementing programs about sexual diversity. And so HAICU's role in terms of the program has been to embed this program within UCT as an institution through sensitization workshops, curriculum, co-curricular programs, and communication and awareness campaigns.
In 1994-95, Routledge published a volume on lesbian and gay writing in South Africa. It was called Defiant Desire, edited by the prominent writer-journalist Mark Gefisser and the High Court Judge Edwin Cameron. This text pioneered what we now see as South African gay and lesbian scholarship. Its contents, highly driven by everyday life of gay and lesbian South Africans, as well as activists, aimed at giving evidence of same-sex existence in the country. It must be noted, of course, that there were some transgender, transsexual, and queer lives, but these were not named as such in that text. Very little, if any, theorizing was prioritized in the text. Through its academically renowned publisher, Routledge, the text remains the most extensive resource for academics, researchers, and students interested in gay and lesbian life in South Africa, and is prescribed in many university lesbian and gay courses in the world. What I'm highlighting here is not the importance of the text per se. Rather, it is how everyday experiences, lives, and activism of lesbian and gay people captured in this text inform contemporary scholarship and the academic field of sexuality and sexual diversity in the country.
I've been so impressed by the level of conversation, but probably more impressed with the fact that we're actually now dealing with these issues. I worked at UCT, and I've worked at Wits in Transformation, and I've worked at the national level. This has not really been on the agenda in the way it should be, and for the first time I'm seeing real engagement around sexuality and sexual identity issues in a way that we haven't had in higher education at this level before. And so the fact that we have 14 institutions, it's brilliant. If we let this opportunity go, it would be an indictment. I really think that at the University South Africa level and at the level of the ministry and DHET, there has to be an engagement with the reports and what is coming out of the LGBTIQ community. But it's not just an LGBTI problem. It's really a South African problem, because it's about building a human rights framework, being accountable to that framework, and treasuring everyone who lives in our country, and valuing the people who inhabit South Africa, and our institutions particularly.
Since HAICU joined the Transformation Office in 2010, and we were given the task of working broader than HIV and AIDS, of working on multifaceted sexuality and gender-based violence in HIV programs, because we didn't have resources, we've had to raise money. We have really valued the collegiality that has grown out of this program. We couldn't do what we do without all of you. We really immensely value UCT Queer Revolution and UCT Rainbow students. I think we're exceptionally lucky that they let us learn from them and listen to them and let us partner with them.
Anti-bullying project came to mind, and for 2 years I worked hard to refine it with the hope of meeting someone who can give me an opportunity to bring this idea to life. After many doors have been slammed on my face, Triangle Project forwarded an email that changed my life and hopefully the lives of many as the project continues. It was an application to become a fellow in a leadership and stigma reduction with the HSRC, University of California, University of Pretoria, and HIVOS. These organizations gave me an opportunity to bring my idea to life. Injabulo Anti-Bullying Project. It aims to eliminate bullying of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex learners in secondary schools in Cape Town.
When we talk about sustaining and making sure that we retain our students so that they graduate, we need to make sure that we also pay attention to the fact that some students drop out because their residence is homophobic, the sports field are homophobic, the student affairs and extracurricular is also homophobic.
The importance of such a seminar is it brings people from different sectors, from policy, from government, from the university, researchers, the academe, to talk about common challenges around the area of sexuality and specifically gender and sexuality diversity.
I think it's particularly important for an institution like ours to have something like this. For somebody like me, I came here for the first time. And I learned so much in one morning. So now I know exactly who I'm dealing with and why I have to respond in a particular way. And I think that is particularly important. Also, I've become sensitive to what people were saying about the pain people go through, about the problems people have to acquire funding. There are so many factors that we in the institution have to consider in situations like these, and I think we need to respond accordingly and appropriately to these things.
So I think it's important to be in a department like HAICU because it does represent so many different intersections. Of course, some people do have a problem around the stigma attached to HIV/AIDS, but I do think it's quite important for it to remain in HAICU because HIV and AIDS bring up so many different intersections of disadvantage, issues around socioeconomic issues, health issues, issues faced by sex workers, for example, and that's why I think HAICU does represent a very specialized area, and that's why I do think it's important for it to be in that specific department.
HAICU has been doing biopsychosocial programming for over 21 years, and we are focused on teaching and training and directing student support in a specific way. With the sexual diversity program, we were now able to reframe our programming in a way that would better enhance and support our self-identifying populations on campus. So we have learning and best practice from our own implementation, and certainly with the research base that foregrounds our work and the evaluation that follows our work, we feel that we're in a good space to share our learning in a national forum.